Seek fluid intake immediately.
Hi friends, welcome in everybody. Hi Nikki, hi Wolfie, hi Izarl, hi Tori, hi Horseman. How is everybody? Welcome in. How are we feeling after our long Borderlands-a-thon? I was tired as hell. Oh, I replied to you and I said twinsies. Yeah, this is a skin that I feel like they've had in all the games. Immediately thought of you. Yeah, they've had it. I mean, I know they definitely had it in 3. All right. So there were some people complaining that the patch made it like bad. But, like, I hadn't had any problems with it at all anyway. So, I was kind of confused. Why does it feel like... Is there something on my finger or is there something on my butt? No, maybe? Okay. Alright. Woo. Let's go. I'm excited. Hello, Cristiano. Alright, so there's some places that I did not figure out how to get to. I did a lot of stuff. Where are we going? We're going to the borderlands. The borderlands. My lands, they're bored. Let's see if Pink remembers the buttons. So far, eh. Wait, V for Vrapple. Yeah, I think I got it. Z for scan. Yeah. It's all coming back to me. How are we? We're good. We're good. Work is finally calming down. Mr. Zach is definitely starting to take a step back and kind of let his management be managers, you know? No chance? Wow, no faith. No faith. No faith? What is that noise? Is that something? It sounds like it's gone now. Oh no. Maybe it was those crabs. What concept? What's this? Oh, that's why. I was like, why is it glowing? But it's this guy. Hello. Hello. Mind your manners. Don't you mind your mom? Oh, I missed him. I missed him. Not with that, though. Wait, what? Oops.
Come here.
Oops. Come here. Wait, where did you go? There you are. Nope. There you are. Looking for me and Dirge stream. I went and asked for happy news because I really needed it. And he had none, so I left. Yeah, it's funny because since I'm a mod, when I join a stream, I can see like the whole history of, well, not the whole history, but like I can see back in stream, like further than like a normal viewer can see. And when I got in, I was like scrolling back to see like what they were talking about to get like context and stuff, and I saw you, and I was like, Nikki. Sorry that he didn't have good news.
Where are ya?
Where are you? Look at him going. What's he gonna hit? Is he gonna hit anything? I trust in you, little guy. No, okay. I was hoping that he was just gonna somehow find something to hit. Must be nice. Try to talk to Pink and nothing. The audacity. Whoa. Sometimes I answer you. Sometimes I just tease you guys for being in other streams. And then I usually, like, leave. I don't leave. But, like, for example, usually GG is on, like, at night, which is usually when I'm gaming or cleaning or doing other stuff. So sometimes I literally say things in GG's stream and then I have, like, walked away. But I did see you in Dirges, but I was getting ready for stream, so I do apologize. Just now. Earlier, just now. I was getting wetty. I saw we. But usually, I just like to talk shit on you guys. Gigi asked me, she's like, are you really upset that we share viewers? I was like, no, I'm not upset at all. I just find it so fucking funny that it's always like the same like group of people in both of our streams, that it's just like every time I go in there, I'm like, what you guys doing in here? Because I'm not streaming. I assumed I am just giving shit. That's all I do. All I do is give shit. That's all I know how to do. But yeah, I was just giving shit. But yeah, Gigi was concerned that I like was really actually upset that we share viewers, because the funny thing is if you're a streamer, you know this, but if you're not a streamer, there's like analytics and stuff. What do you mean, ahem? There's like analytics in Twitch, and it tells you like all these different things of like, oh, if you stream this, like your viewers like to watch a lot of things and blah, 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 you know. So it's like, it kind of just like gives you like little tips and stuff to like, of what the majority of your viewers watch, to help you like pick new games or new things to stream, etc. Anyway, so there's an analytic at the bottom that tells you like what other streamers you share like your viewership in common with. And Gigi, and so I sent a picture of it, and I was like, it says that 38% of my viewers also watch Gigi. And she was like, what are the odds of that? She's like, 38% of my viewers also watch you. So it's like literally the same percentage of our viewership watches each other. Like, it's just very funny. I am Cat, I can help you. Why are you guys just quoting the raid video? Do you want to see the raid video? Do you just want to see the raid video right now? Is this gonna take me somewhere dumb that I can't go? Bizarro, have you noticed that? Okay, no, this one actually has a jump. Ooh, go to the side. What are you doing? You didn't make it. You didn't make it. You didn't make it. Actually, yes, I do. You really want to see the... You just... What if my stream was just my raid video on repeat? And it was just that for like 4 hours. Can I tell you a cool movement? Hell yeah. Welcome to the no, it's everyone comes here for the PPC. Yay, I made it that time. I don't know why last time I just didn't. Wait, why are you taking me this weird way? Man, look at the GPS. The GPS in this shit is crazy. The GPS in this shit is crazy. Oni, hello. DJ, hello. I saw both of you. I'm sorry. I was talking shit to everybody. I was talking shit, but welcome in, the two of you. Hello. Don't worry. No, I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm ignoring or I forgot them. I was just, like I said, I was just making fun of Nikki and Horseman when Oni popped in, and then I was just still talking shit. Board bike, do a jump, dismount bike, mid-jump. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so bike, jump, bike.
You're done for.
Kinda. Kinda. Oh, see, it's the maybe it's too slow on keyboard.
Gonna rip you slow.
Kinda. I feel like I'm doing it too slow, but if that's how you do it, then yeah, nice. Get ready for a surprise. I'm sorry, guys, if I just repeat all of the lines. It's, what is it called? Echolocalia? Is that what it is? What is it called when you just like repeat things that people say because you like how they sound? Is that what that is, right? Keep your health. I forgot I have to heal myself in this one. Whee. Oh, they all died. Aww. Alright, well, guess if you insist. Dismount gives you... I thought that said attitude. Dismount gives you attitude. You always have to do it with attitude. Guys, I watched the Power Rangers movie, like the one from 1995. I watched that last night. So now everything is 5 teenagers with attitude. Right, now where the fuck do I go? Oh, I guess that makes sense, huh? Echo, yeah, I was right. Echolocalia. Yeah. Yeah, I like... Because whenever I meet somebody with an accent, they always think I'm teasing them, but I'm not. It's just that... I picked it up so fast I didn't even notice! I picked it up so fast! I was just spamming! I think it's a sniper, though. Yeah, it's a Jacobs Sniker. Sniker? It's a Jacobs Sniker. I don't like snipers. Bullet Pollinator. After reloading, the first critical hit ricochets a sticky projectile up to 3 nearby. And that's kind of cool. Sniker. Torque licensed impact magazine. Everything is blooming most recklessly. Damn, I don't like snipers, but sell it? Why? Why sell? Hi, bestie. Welcome in. I was totally not just talking about you. Alright, where am I going? This way? This way. Wait, why? Because... What did I do? You didn't do anything. I was telling chat the story about the 38%. Because I saw Nikki and Durge's chat earlier and I was making fun of them. What up, 38%ers? I keep hitting the wrong button. No, no. Why does it go this way? This is so weird.
Cutest horror ever.
I kind of don't want to right now, honestly. Fight this world boss. Is that question mark as like you need the joke explained, DJ? Is that what that means? Whoa. Whoa, that moved. Whoa, that moved. Why did that move? Is that gonna launch? What is 38%? So on mine and Gigi's Twitch analytics, it says that 38% of you guys watch both of us. So it's just a joke we have. Oh, I just assumed I did something wrong. Always. No, 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 no. Woo! That was a little crazy. Why am I here? Why am I fighting people always? Why do I always have to kill? Nobody ever just wants to high five. Why must I always kill? Ooh, what's this? This looks like a bank vault. Huh? Bonk. 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 No, oh, they did launch it. See? I said that. I said, are they gonna launch it? Bye. Goodbye. Where is everybody? Whomst is left. Not everyone is friend? No, that seems not accurate. No, I just want to loot. I don't want to shoot. I just want a looter. All right. That sounds fun. Like the whole game is just running around picking up more and more loot. What do you do with the loot? Absolutely nothing. You just pick it up and you just go, ooh, look. And there are going to be different rarities of the loot that doesn't do anything. The achievement is for picking up every loot. Out to get me Lucky Charms. What? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just passing through, my guy. Like, I wasn't even shooting at you. See, and now you're dead. Like, clearly that didn't work well for you, now did it? Let's be friends. Blow off your arm. Poison. Ooh, what was that? Is it because I had something on me? Why are my wings all crazy? Why are my wings all crazy? Come here, who's next? Who's next? I don't care. Why are you guys making me seem like I'm so mean? Come on. Have I ever been mean? And you didn't deserve it. Yeah, and you didn't deserve it, I said. Who is... Oh, this guy. You called us hoes. Only Twitch hoes. Toes. Define mean. That you... thought it was mean. I was trying to think of something like really clever, but then I knew somebody was gonna be like, yes. Yup. What? Come on. You guys are exaggerating. Exaggerations all around. Wait, is it? Oh, it was above. I thought it was this thing below. Shit. Well, shit. I'm gaslighting? Gatekeep gaslight girl boss. Making peach ice cream. I don't know how I made that shot, but I did because I'm a gamer. Come here. I hate charging this rifle up. I hate charging this rifle up. Or shotgun. It's a shotgun. But still. Some Taco Bell. Obviously, That is 6 inches. That looks like an inch and like maybe a half. So sure. To somebody, I'm sure it is. Okay. Can I make this jump? Hell yeah. Gaming. I see it. I see it right there. Cha. Oh, this guy looks kind of cool. His hair looks cool. Okay. Guys, I'm literally getting you new emotes and everything. How could you say I'm mean? How could you say
Seek
I'm mean?
fluid intake immediately.
Thank you. I would never. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's only because we love you? Right. Who's always right? Oh, guy never exaggerates? Oh, yeah, no, he's always right. I'm sure. Whoa. Hello. I went to the main quest area.
Vault Hunter, are you close? The Rippers are outside, and not to alarm you, but the decor in here is dated at best. Moving to engage!
I'm on it. Just close your eyes and endure.
Who's that? Is that Fran? I think that's Fran. Whee! Hey, no.
Why so twitchy?
I need an AR that actually is an AR and not a fucking one shot. Ah! Okay, that also sucks. I need better weapons! Your pirate gun. Your pirate gun, matey. You should use your pirate gun. Garn. Good, he died before I could reload my weapon.
I really thought that was the end. I guess I owe you my part of our deal.
Let me loot first, though, sir. Hope you're not in a really big rush or anything. I need better legendaries. Why are you picking? Why? Who's picking? Why? Oh, the Pokebot. Oh, that's the Pokebot, not Pixelbot. Look at my little piggy tail shadow. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. They do little floppies. Or that. Alright. I don't see any more loot. Any more legendaries. Do you have loot? Do you have loot? Do you have loot? Do you have loot? Wait, gimme. Oh, I bet you I'm gonna have to do a thing. Yep, I knew it. Typical Borderlands. You can't activate this switch until you've technically spoken to this person. Hello, Quent. That's not a name.
Rippers sure laid out the red carpet. I'm Vex.
Nice to meet you. I'm Quent, or Captain Quent of the Electi Defense Society. It's a sub
Where did he go?
that also defends Carcadia against
He just
Ripper assaults.
fucked off.
We're just a lot better at the first thing.
I noticed.
Can you go faster than this?
Look, we're aristocrats, not,
You're
what's
Christocats.
the word? Gun person? Fighters? Soldiers. Levaine's the one who's really in charge.
Who's
back in
Levane?
Arcadia City. I can introduce you. Damn it!
Speak of the devil, I just killed them all. Oh my gosh. Plot armor, bitches.
I've got your back this time.
Wait, you can fight?
I mean, I can.
You got my back this time, dude? Cool.
Until a few years ago, the only thing I'd ever battled was ennui.
Ennui.
Catch this!
Oh God, I hate this part.
Oh, he's dead. I don't have to kill him anymore. He's already dead.
I think I'm gonna hurl.
Ooh, Coombs, why?
Okay.
You did so good,
That has to be
guy.
all. Come on, we'll call Levain.
Quent.
I don't know what we would have done without you. Damn Rippers. They want that command bolt back real bad.
No, it's the Christocats.
Any idea why?
To give to General Callis. Or that's what we called her before she, you know. Ugh. She goes by the Ripper Queen these days.
Let me tell you.
Not my favorite makeover. Anyway, Callis is besieging Carcadia to get her old bolt. Mom
Sorry, I'm just
Byron
robbing you.
was supposed to sneak attack their catapults. But you saw how that went. Levain won't be happy. You just let me know when you're ready to start the call with her.
Oh, who are you? Who's this Carly?
I can't
freak?
believe we made it out alive. Once we got cut off at the bridge, I was certain we were finished. It's just a shame Levaine's plan fell apart.
Who is Levane?
She's usually prepared for
Keep
anything.
talking about this lady I've never heard.
Tell me more about Levane. Do you trust her?
I trust her with my life. We all do. She's the only reason we survived the cataclysm. The other leaders have struggled to adapt, but Levain, it's like she was born for this.
That makes one of you, at least.
Oh, I'd follow her into a burning building, but she can only do so much. We're outmanned.
DJ, have a great
outgunned.
night.
Something needs to change.
Dirge
don't know
McB. Thank you for the raid, friend. How was the rest of your stream? How was the rest of your stream? Here's the raid video. I know you guys want it. Well, first of all, I have to do this. Because now everything's on a little switch thing on my stream deck. Hey, do you like these games? Hey, cool. That's cool. Do you like these? Hey, you like these games? Hey, you like watching people play these games? Hey, you should watch me play these games. Hi there, friends. Are you a human being with disgusting bodily functions? Everyone comes here for the PPC, the peak poop content. I have poopies for you. I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the butts. Look at that donk.
Why are you so excited for this? I was
Oop.
retcon.
And I died. Oopsies. You can't do anything with human meat, which is kind of boring. Put your clothes on. What if you just like collected a bunch of farts? My mom? Are you pooping? I'm a big girl. I do Mordors. No! Do you think he survived? This is literally. Let's go faster! I died. What do I do about this giant ball chasing me?
Chaos, come watch us.
I'm trying to make sure we don't die.
Why are you looking so close?
I wasn't. I just looked down because I could see it.
Oh my god.
He's still rolling.
Cannibal swinging at you, the moose is running laps around you. Don't give me that baby. Do you know where your children are? Will you show them to me, please, so I can beat them up? I don't like scary babies in video games. I don't like scary babies in real life. Maybe let's not say those things on my stream. Okay, have fun, bye! It'll save you hundreds of money on your car insurance by switching to doo-doo poo-poo. I'm trying to make the poop. Go, bees!
Bees!
Get the bee!
Oh
It's like hot dogs! What is happening?
Oh, I keep finding these boners. You can have your very own Greg.
It's soup. It's soup.
Where are the Vajuzhans?
I just want to be beautiful like her.
I am Cat, I can help you. He's totally dead. He's just standing there. Just because I was supposed to move him. I look like the kid from Stranger Things. You can go anywhere on Twitch, and this is what you choose to do with your time. Okay, game is done. Okay, thanks for coming. Okay, I'm back. I can't even interrupt that because it's all on like a timer activated thing now when I get my raid. So it's funny. No, Dirge, that's all good. That's all good. I was just I mean, tomorrow's my night off from stream, so like maybe I'll play a few rounds of Repo with you guys, but like I probably won't stream it. But Friday, we're finishing Abiotic on Friday because we can go late on Friday and we can finish Abiotic on Friday. Friday for sure. We are finishing Abiotic on Friday. We're finishing it. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care if you don't get to go to sleep Friday night until 6 o'clock in the morning. We are finishing it. So just slide. Why don't you slide? Friday, we are finishing Abiotic. Midday nap, yes, because I work, so I probably the absolute earliest I could do it. I could start would. Absolute earliest would be like 7.
Thank you enough
but
for
I was
saving
gonna
us
start at
back
8,
there.
if that's cool.
We've lost so much already.
So, any excuse to take out Rippers is good enough for me.
Honestly, probably should
you
start at
alright?
7 so I don't fucking fall asleep like an asshole.
But okay.
Can you move? I need to touch that. Thank you. Can you
At
move?
least
I
we
need to
won't have
touch
to live
it.
in fear anymore. Instead,
Okay.
every day we've got
Think you're feeling sick Friday morning? No, I was sick like 2 weeks ago. I can't.
Beats having the time.
Sounds
keeper at
perfect.
your
All right,
throat,
cool.
right?
So I'll let you know when I'm heading home from work and if I want to start at 7 because I'm like feeling tired or if I'll be good. Basically, let's just start at 7. Let's just start at 7. Let's just start at 7.
Okay, let's try.
Let's just start at 7. We'll finish.
Levain,
I'm so
how
pissed
are
that I
you?
have to do
It's
the whole
Clint.
underwater area. The whole
Operation
underwater area
Catapult
stressed me
Fury
out
had,
so bad.
Mixed results. But I was just talking to my Vault Hunter friend, and
Damn it, Quent! I told you not to talk to that vulgar.
6:60 p.m. exactly.
oh no, not him. This is a new Vault Hunter friend, not you know.
Not
Nice to
him.
meet you,
Who does he
Levain.
mean? Who?
I hear
Not
you're
him.
over
Who
your
does he
head with the
mean?
Rippers. I can help for a very specific price.
He's like, not him.
Straight to the point. You are a Vault Hunter, aren't you? Let me get to the point then. Our supply lines are blocked. Extend the bridge nearby, and I'll be more receptive. To negotiation.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get out of here. And hope
Give me all this loot. Give me all this loot. Ooh, excuse me, sir. Okay. Oh yeah, but George, let me know. Let me know when you guys are planning on playing Repo. Like I said, I'll probably hop in for a few. I've never played before, so I have no idea. It's probably scary. Okay, where am I supposed to go? Is there nowhere for me to go in here? Guess not. I guess I leave. Sag. Okay. Close. That's a mighty fine butt.
Panel is close by. You'll be able to extend the bridge there.
You have a mighty fine butt. Hey! Can I? Jeez. Called it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to come back here after I talk to him.
Levain?
'Cause it's
the bridge
Borderlands.
controls are busted.
Damn
Uh-oh.
Rippers. Right.
Uh-oh.
New plan. The scoundrels have their catapults aimed directly at our city. If you can destroy them, it'll slow the siege and clear Carcadia's supply lines in one swoop.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a big ask. I'm gonna need something in
Well, thanks,
return.
Dirge. I like how the bot
Callus's
says it before it
command bolt.
I
activates.
suspected as much. That bolt is how we keep our old order tech running. But that
Is it so you can see the
hardly
new
matters if we're not
emotes?
alive to use it.
Guys.
Very
Guys. 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 The new emotes are gonna be
Got
so good.
yourself a deal, lady. Now where do you need me?
I'm sending Quint ahead with explosives. Meet him at the first catapult post-haste. We'll see if you're more reliable than other Vault Hunters.
More reliable than other Vault Hunters. Sure. Alright, so how am I supposed to get over here?
Come, Vault Hunter.
Callus.
I saw it.
Hello? Do I know you?
I am Callus, Moon Call's queen, and this is my domain.
Oh.
You've been cutting through my rippers like burning steel. I am impressed by your worthiness.
Well, I'm impressed by how insanely creepy you sound.
When the sky broke open, so did the chains at my neck. I saw my future in the wings of flame. It is my divine burden to free this world.
What the fuck is
Your
this?
arrival is harbinger to my ascent. Kill what you must. Spill the blood of the weak among my host. Destiny will not yield.
Oops, the fuck is this? She doesn't sound like a Borderlands villain. She sounds like a psychopath. Spill the blood if you must. I do not yield.
Let me help you with that crazy.
Get over here. Oh, that's way over there. That was closer. Hello. Yum. I'm stuck on the foot of that vehicle. Callus, like, no, C-A-L-L-I-S. Oh my. That was a little disrespectful.
Maybe let's not do that again.
Boom. Boom. Did he say Jiminy? That's funny. Ah. The size of the gun don't matter. It's always how you take it. Yep, buddy, that's exactly what they always say. What? Right, immediately back up. What I thought. I think I shot him in the dick. Oops. Oops. Oh, alright, hold on. Let me look at my new weapons before I continue, because I don't really love this. Alright, let's sort by rarity, and then we'll sort by... Hello? Asshole rifle. Okay. Rhythmic bugbear. Oh, yeah! I can start... Oh, wait! I can get the legendaries that are in the vault! I have legendaries in the vault. Damn, where's the closest fast travel from here? Oh. The asshole rifle. So here's the story of the asshole rifle, okay? So when I used to play Fallout 76, like way back in the day, like on PlayStation with a bunch of my friends, there was a French guy who used to play with us. And his accent, he would say things very, very, very funny, and that's how he said assault rifle, because he was saying assault rifle, assault rifle, assault rifle, but we would be like asshole rifle, asshole rifle, asshole rifle.
Got one more order pod for you, ripe for the picking.
So that's why I say asshole rifle all these years later. Like literally, it's been like. When did Fallout come out? Fallout came out in like 2018, I think. 2018. Something around there. So I've been saying it since then. So if you've ever heard me say asshole rifle, It's just this poor French guy that we used to pick on when we would play fucking Fallout together. I know, and he was like, he was such a nice guy, and he was just like, sure, guys, sure, yeah, that's what I said, yep, sure. Assault rifle, yeah. Asshole rifle? No, assault rifle, yes. Asshole rifle? No, assault rifle. Asshole rifle? It hasn't been forgotten. I don't know if I'll ever forget it. It really is just one of those things that it's so silly.
Guess I'll have to steal some more.
It's so silly. It became an asshole rifle? That's a good one, Nikki. That's a good one. That's a good one. Or sort by level. One of these. Yeah, see this one. When equipped, grants 40% shield and minus 10 health. Yeah, but that's 4,000 shield. 50% shield capacity. Alright, so I might do that one for now. Let's see if there's any that are better. Better. I don't know. Some nice ice cream. Oh, did you post it? Did you post it? Oh my god. Explosiception. Alright, I need some raffles. Engorged. Engorged. Performative. No, not traits. Shotgun. Okay. What is that? 1128. Really? The boom slang? Thrown cherry flavored anarchy. Oh wait, no, I got them. The other one was like, I think a shield. Peeled scornful hellhound. Performative crank. Yeah, I need to start getting rid of some of these things. Alright, hold on. How can I do it at? Yeah, okay. Basically all of these, I guess, can go, huh? Because none of them are better than the ones I have. Okay, what do I have for Pishosh? Pishosh. No, why are you... No, uncheck that, silly. Oh, I liked the kitty. Bruh. Bruh. I need to find some shit. Come on, man. Come on, man. Sell junk. Refill ammo. Use vending machine. Sell. You're here! Welcome in, Wolfie. How was your day? Fuck all of this. Fuck all of it. Fuck it. I don't want any of it. I don't want it. Oh my god, it's Zane! That's who it is, guys. Is fishing not working? What you mean? What you mean? Do I have to re-log in? Hold on. Don't look, guys. Don't look. No, it's right here. Like, can you not see it? Like, it's right here. Is it not... Did you... Is it not working? No working? Okay, hold on. I'll close it. And I'll reopen it. I'll reopen it on my super secret Steam account that nobody knows about. My super secret Steam account. Super secret Steam account. Is it Pixel 2? No. You guys wish you knew what it is because it's so secret. Yeah, I know. Temporary chatbot outage. I know, you're a bitch. Figure it out already. Ugh. Nope. You guys won't figure it out. It's not a challenge. It's not a challenge.
Got one more order pod for you.
Ripe for the picking.
That one there at the bottom of the screen. Yep, that's the one.
Hey, Vault Hunter!
I found you on Steam, but I can't add friends.
I'm just excited to tell you what we're up to with the launch, and that everyone misses you around here.
Especially him.
Christelina from Donowing.
Every time his mouth opens these
Wow,
days,
thanks for
swear to scrap.
doxing me.
Get off the line.
Oh, wow. Just remember there's some sugar
Yeah,
in
that was like a
there.
nickname I had for a long time, so my older emails
You
are
really
those.
gotta up the security on these calls.
Ka-chow.
Tech better than I do. Doubt I can slow them down even a bit.
Ka-chow.
We've made some real progress toward launching off Kairos thanks to everything you've done. Come on by headquarters when you get a second. I'll show you how far we've come.
I happen to be here. What a coincidence. Wait, where's the quest marker for him? Huh? 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 What did he said to come back home? I'm here. Huh? His everything blocked. She never adds anyone. I have it blocked to like the public. Like I don't want like people I don't fucking know adding me. But also I've known Nikki since 2010 maybe. Chibi chibi! Chibi chibi! That's all she says. She just says her name like a little Pokemon. Chibi chibi? They are IRL friendos, yeah. Yeah. I didn't mean to do that. And there was nothing. Why are there two chibi? They're two different people. And because chibi in Japanese means little, so they're little moon and little moon. So like it's mini moon and mini moon. Even though she doesn't go by mini moon, she just goes by mini. So mashed potatoes. What? What are you saying? What are you saying? You're so silly. Mashed potatoes are good. What do you mean? Ooh, there's a thing there. Why? Why? All these bridges are broken. Why are there mini scouts at all? Well, because Chibi Usa, who is Chibi Usagi, who is Mini Moon, is their daughter from the future who gets sent back to the past. And then Chibi is, depending on what you're watching, whether it's the manga or whether it's the anime. In the manga, she's baby Sailor Moon who comes back to like prevent something from happening. In the anime, she's the like physical manifestation of like, so in the final season the main villain is called Galaxia, and she's trying to collect everyone's, and they're called star seeds, but it's basically like their purity. And so Chibi in the anime is the physical manifestation of Galaxia's star seed, aka her purity. Anime, am I right? Anime. Yay! So that's, but so Chibi isn't like a name. Like Chibi is like a word. So like, yeah. So like they're Chibi because they're little. They're little mini moon and mini. And they only call her mini or Chibi. They only call her Chibi because that's what she says. That's what like she's like a little Pokemon. She just says Chibi, and because when she shows up, they're like, "Oh my God, Usagi! She looks like a little mini you. Like we should just call her like mini." So like her name isn't Chibi. That's just like what they name her. If that makes sense. Dragon Ball's the best anime ever. Oh, Oni. I'm not a Dragon Ball fan, honestly. I know so many people who love it. I know so many people who love it. It was just not for me, man. Just not for me. Demon Slayer, 90 bucks for the two of them. I have to catch up on Demon Slayer very, very badly. I'm like, I think an entire season behind now at this point. Why am I playing like a slowbie instead of playing like I'm on mouse and keyboard and I'm a gamer? Oh yeah, let me use my new shit. Yeah, let me use my new shit. Hello, where can I shoot somebody, please? Hello. Shoot you. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. I'm stuck. I'm no longer stuck. Bang, 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 bang. Slam. Bang, 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 bang. Oh wait, I have to get your invulnerability or vulnerability. Invulnerability. Get out of here with that shit. Bang, 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 bang. Hoomst. 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 Where is it? Where's the fucking turret? No, no, no. Boom. Sir. There it is. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Ducking out for a hot minute. I've never heard that one before. That was funny. He's like, stepping out for a hot minute. Come here. Oh, you're on this side. I suppose that makes sense, doesn't it? Are you just gonna stand there? Yeah, you are. I will kill anyone who doesn't let me. Okay. I don't want you to kill me though, so. Don't suck me off your black hole! Oh, my neck. What is what? What? I see bang bang turret. Bang 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 bang. Where is this? Where? I see him though. I don't need the shoot the invisibility orb. I fucking see him. They're very invisible when there's a white light coming out of your chest. Idiot. Yeah, why is it not ending? Stop with the turrets. Stop with the turrets. I jumped. What the shit? There's no way there's more. Why is it not ending? This is crazy. They just keep spawning. What am I stuck on? Bruh. There's no way another's gonna spawn. Yeah, oh my god. This game is kind of crazy. Like, they're like, here, we're not done yet. Oh my gosh. And then they keep throwing turrets, which are just tearing through my armor. I missed both of those grenades. Both of them I missed. Shut up. There's no fucking way! This is a joke at this point, right? Like, it has spawned just one single badass every time. Oh my god, this is so annoying with the fucking... Alright, do we think this is the last one? Jeez. Woo! Hi, Dave. How are you? Welcome in. The place is like a clown car. That's a perfect analogy. Yeah. Like they just keep popping out. Like what the heck? What the heck? Dave, how was your day? Are you getting ready to wrap up your week? Your week on the road? Get all the blues at least. I'm not picking up these greens. To where they all sleep in a pile. Seriously. Like literally like chest, like back to chest, like just stacked. Not even like bunk beds, just like body bunk beds. Nut to butt, exactly. But not all of them have nuts. That's the problem. But all of them have butts. Nuts to butts. Butts to butts. You're actually not worth my time. You're actually not even, like, worth it. If this takes me some wackadoo way that's not correct, and that I can't traverse... Oh, I thought it was telling me to turn around. Like, do a U-turn and turn around. But it was the old one that hadn't faded out yet. So big you have to keep them on your chest. You know what? Fair. And same. So true, bestie. This is a good interview by the number 2 and number 3 guys with the outfit I came down to work with, so I have a lot of good things coming out. Nice! Dave, that makes me happy for you. Nice. I'm glad you had a nice couple weeks out. Working and hanging and all that jazz. And all that jazz. Ruined Sumplins. Reach Carcadia outskirts. Fun for me, enjoy the people? Nice! Good, I'm glad. It's good when you enjoy what you do.
This nausea is delicious!
This nausea is delicious, she says. What the? Give it in my A material. Your A game. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Do you have the explosives?
Once was townhouse.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Quint, stay with us, buddy!
What? No, I'm fine. I just
Why
heard
am
my
I here?
gardener got ripped. And now
Oh, I thought I was going to a side quest, but okay.
chrysanthemums. They must be so scared.
Oh, my
But I'm here.
God. Once was townhouse. What once was a townhouse? Boink. What if I don't want to go there quite yet? All right, fine. Oh wait, 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 wait. What is this? What is this? It could be a legendary in one of these. Very unlikely, but possible. Bruise your knees and roll your stocking down. Wow. A lot of material. Nice. Material. She's a material. Material girl. Whoops. Hello. Who is this your bed, sir? This is probably not a good place for you to sleep. I kinda wanna loot, but that's fine.
Time to get my revenge on those catapults. Via you.
Hmm.
Here, take the explosives.
Sure.
No offense, but these seem kinda old.
Yeah, we found them in an order dumpster, which was inside
He's so
another
eepy.
larger dumpster.
I used to go take a nap in the middle of a war zone.
Just clear a path to that catapult and plant all 3 bombs. Go, go, go.
Oh, don't
Time
you
lost, chrysanthemums lost.
worry. I will murder because apparently I can't play this game without killing everybody. So strange. How's Keta?
Seek me not here.
Seek me not here. Ciao. Oh, you're a friend.
Heading there now.
It's a good thing this is not friendly fire, because oops. I missed. That's the end of that chapter. This is legally distinct from 9 Inch Nails.
That's 2. Just one more.
Wow, thank you. I know how to count to 3. I know it didn't seem like it before, but I've learned now how to count past 3 now even, and I can count to 4. Isn't that crazy?
Where do you think?
Come here.
Like you had a chance.
Ah! Ever heard of a band called that name? Oh, that's System of a Down's side project. It's a little unknown fact there. As freaking F. Yeah, you're right. Oops.
One more.
Bunk. Boop.
That'll do it.
Perfect. Now get the hell out of there.
I'm out. Take cover. Where? Where I was not... Okay, sure. Where I wasn't covery enough. But not for long, but she did. Hey, that's little baby steps, right? A purple. Oh, a purple. Boing. Oh, is it gonna blow up yet?
In 3, 2.
I did not wait.
Maybe say here goes something next time?
There, Dodge. Oh, that was a nice dumpster, too.
Aww.
You waste your strength on these
Aw.
pathetic electi, Vault Hunter. Bring me the command so we can rise together, or you will die in this wasteland.
No, I don't like you, creepy lady voice.
She taunts us. Maybe she should. Those decrepit bombs were our last hope to stop her.
We do have one option left, Levain. The bar's close by.
I like where your head's at. Keep talking.
Quint? Absolutely not.
Desperate times. You know he's the ultimate wild card.
Oh, he's wild.
Ooh.
Right. Irresponsible,
Ooh.
selfish, and other things a lady's not meant to say.
They keep talking about some other Vault Hunter and I can't wait to see who it is.
Come on. I just hope he's in a good mood.
Who is it?
So who's this guy Levain is so uptight about?
Can you help me? I'm looking for my sister.
Oh, that. Levain and him used to get along a little too well.
Ooh, you mean they fucked?
I'm too cold. Too soft.
They had sexual relations. is
Yep.
what I'm saying.
They fucked.
Yeah, cut that.
Anyway, you ask me, she's letting her feelings for him cloud her judgment.
Cloud her judgment.
But how dare you?
Haha.
I'm simply using common sense. You know how it escalates things.
There's like so many possibilities it could be. Wait, this is 6 years after 3?
What we need.
I mean, I guess it could be pretty much still any of them. But Zane is the weapons guy now, the weapon machine guy now.
Far too often, a nasty case of rug burn.
Nasty case of rug burn.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay, thanks, bye. So many possibilities. Pasta sounds banging, but I got the quesadilla.
We made it! But it looks like the riffraff did too.
Oh, that's fine. We will kill
No
them.
bouncer on duty?
Okay, we will kill them.
So they can open up the bar.
Whee! Meow. Oh, I have to itch my nose.
They were only
Ah.
wearing the physical body.
Oops. There you are. Bomb. Oh. The final countdown. I don't know what she said, but she said final something. And obviously the only clear escalation from there. I hear a turret. I hear a turret. 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 Whoa. Oh, I think my relic does an airstrike when I have Torg on. With the pasta? With pasta? And if pasta wouldn't probably actually genuinely kill me for eating it every day, I would eat it every day. But I feel like that would probably not be good. Badass gun? Yeah, it is. It's fun. This is one of the legendaries I just got. Whee. What is that? Is that me? No, that's them. Okay. Whee. A fission head, you say? Throw a couple grenades at him. Nice. Ammo, please. I need so many. Who is it? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It's okay. So technically, from 1, I guess Mordecai is still alive. From 2, I guess Brick is technically still alive too. So from 2,
Hey, it's Quint.
0. I don't think that would be it.
Hello? I'm
Wait,
not
where did
here
it
to
go?
collect the money I lent you, by the way.
Wait, where did he go? I want to see. What's going on?
Oh, we're pals, you know.
Oh, over
Super
here.
tight. He even let me invest in his supplements business.
Moxies. Who is it? Who are you? Hello?
This is a great organization tool.
Wait, is this like actually, is Moxie actually gonna be here though? Don't lead me on game. 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 Don't lead me on. Don't lead me on. Don't lead me on. Don't lead me on. Oh my god.
That's some nice gear you've got. I want to look. No fighting on the premises.
It's Zane?
Yeah.
It's Zane? Oh. Okay, I like Zane's new hair.
Zane.
Mother? Mother?
What did I tell you about shooting our customers?
Why don't you remind us?
Ladies first.
Exceptions for the exceptional. Oh my god.
Sorry for the mess, y'all. This
Mother.
round's on me.
Mother. Okay, but why is Zane like hot now? I was not expecting at all.
So,
Because he's the weapons guy. He's the weapons machine.
It's Quentin.
That's crazy.
This is the new Vault Hunter. They're helping us fight off the Rippers.
A Vault Hunter, huh?
That's crazy. Is that? Oh my god! I can't believe it's Zane. He had a major glow up. I can't get over that Zane and Moxie are fucking. No, Zane. Wait, Zane and Moxie are currently fucking, and Zane was fucking a headset girl. What's her name? I'm stealing all this money from these strippers, by the way. You need to earn your keep, and you're not earning it right now. So. I will be your pimp, and you will get your money when you earn it. Okay. What did Claptrap do when he found out about Moxie? I don't know. What did he do? What's this? Will you open? What's this? What is this? Open for me! Oh my god, is it the slaughter shaft? Okay, well... Shit. After it's firmed, more in the Fruzzer. The Fruzzer. Oh, shit. Alright, let's look at the weapons of the day.
Tips welcome. Money, not advice.
Compare to my legendary. No, these legendary. Oh, this one does more. More. 67. Just better accuracy. Faster reload speed. Interesting. Interesting. It's a Vladov too, which means it's pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I'll fuck with it. I'll fuck with it. You know? You know? Hello? Can I?
I don't mind.
Okay, fine.
I am always this pretty, yes?
That's so funny, cause like
Just scratch the serial number off and usher one or two
when Wolfie asked like, oh, is he Scottish or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I don't know why it's him instead of Marcus. I didn't place that it was Zane though, because I don't know. I don't know. I didn't put that together. Oh, I didn't put it together. All right, so there's something here. Wherpst. Wherpst. Oh, here it is. Yay. Up, up, up.
Sugar. You want to know why I really tagged along? Well, first off, once a Crimson Raider, always a Crimson Raider. I'm
Yep.
ride or die, baby.
Ride or die,
I
baby.
do love a good ride.
But between you and me, a little birdie on Promethea whispered in my ear about a rather substantial debt we all owed. And let's just say, this one wasn't the kind you settle with a check. No, this called for a more personal
Who is she
touch.
talking to?
And honey, have I been more than generous?
Promethea
I've carved out a little
is
slice of paradise for the lost
one of the
and
ones
weary
from
by
the
way of
planets from
Valhalla.
3.
I've stimulated the populace and economy with some rather enticing distractions. And the tales I've spun of life beyond this rock, well, they've left the locals thirsty for more. So you see, Sugar,
Who is she
every
talking
day
to
I'm
in
doing my
this?
part to shine bright and light the way for the people of Kairos.
Okay, but who was she talking to during that? Like, so it's funny because the reason that I figured out it was Zane is because one of the subtitles came up while I was in the gun machine. But I've never noticed it before. So I wonder if it wasn't actually like, I don't know. It's weird. Oh, there, now it says it. That's so weird. Okay.
Nice bar the ladies got here. Be a shame if it got haunted by killer ghosts.
And a sharp tongue to boot. What do you think, Moxie? Should I bounce him too?
On this forsaken rock? I need all the customers I can get, Sugar. As long as they play
Wait, she's
by
got like
the
a long
rules.
braid this time.
Right. Well, back to me pint.
Or you could do what I pay you for. What kind of bouncer leaves rippers outside and just locks the door?
A smart one.
Zane, please.
What a freaking
We
glow
need to
up,
break
dude.
the
Look at his
Ripper's
hair. His little
siege.
samurai
Ammo
bun
and
thing going on.
ideas. Levine asked.
He's like half shaved.
Levine said that.
He's got a cut. He's got a cut-in shave. That's what it looks like.
I knew she'd darken me door again. Out with the big guns for lead, man. Vault Hunter, you're with me. This way. I'd like to introduce you to Sophia. The one lady in my life who hasn't sent me back.
Max Moxie cosplay. You're right. You're right.
Quint, Sugar. Hey, Sugar.
Hey,
What's your
sugar.
pleasure?
Headphones and a dark room.
Whoa.
Well, anything's a dark room when you have
Her
a
braid. She's
blindfold
cute.
on.
Wait, isn't there a like? Is there not? Here it is. Here it is. Sorry, we're closed. Insert your tip. Ooh, boop. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an achievement for tipping her. There is, like, normally in every game an achievement for tipping her. Oh, buddy, just poop. You'll feel so much better. See? They got the right idea. They got the right idea. Oh, sorry, Dave. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Dave. Sorry, Dave. Now where did I go? Do I follow him? Okay. Where did he go? Holy shit. He fast. He fast as fuck, boy.
IHAP's pretty hard to come by. I used to be the most expensive hitman in the 6 galaxies.
Yep.
Decade-long waitlist.
I remember hearing all about that when I played with somebody who used Zane.
Oh yeah? What got you out of the Hitman game?
Well, last year boxing some of the Crimson Rare crew. That put a real damper on business.
Yeah?
But after saving the universe with Lilith, I couldn't really go back to my old tricks anyway. You'll know how that is soon enough.
Why is Lilith here? She's very much dead. Or even flip the switch, my guy. My guy. Alert.
Getting
Whoa.
kind of a sex dungeon vibe right now. Not a
How?
problem.
How is that what you got from this?
Say it out loud.
Whoa, what's
Now,
this?
Sophia,
can be a wee bit
Whoa!
testy.
What's Sophia?
But just stay calm, and you'll be fine.
That whole
What is
sentence was one
Sophia?
solid red flag.
Sophia! Time to wake up, my treasure.
I don't think so.
Look at how big this. That's what I'm saying. What's the safe word? Help.
Zane.
Lost weight, so the
No
few
one's
things I
in
had are way too big now. Oh, lucky you.
Patience.
I
There she is!
hate it.
Who's my best thresher, lass? You are. Yes, you are. Who's your cutie booty booty?
I don't think that would fit anymore, by the way. Hi, Sophia. Hi,
She'll get the job
Sophia.
done. Here. Why don't you help me open her cage?
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Come on, don't be a skulker. Grapple those two bits open. There you go.
Maybe I should keep my hands on the keyboard. Where's Sophia going?
On her best behavior already, my lasses.
Or she's gonna pop up and eat us. Feels like a coin flip.
All right, easy now. All you need is her favorite chew toy, and she'll play as friendly as a puppy. Grab it there.
Sophia's toy.
That is a lot of Thresher slobber.
Now, Sophia lives to play fetch with that thing. You place it on one of these ripper catapults, she'll banjax the thing to bits just to reach it. Just, get well out of the way.
Right.
Follow this tunnel out. It'll lead you straight to the catapults.
Sure to the catapults.
These ripper chancers have no idea what they're in for. I'll double back and take care of that first catapult you couldn't blow up. Have fun now, eh?
So,
Guys, I don't know what some of the noises I make are sometimes. I'm sorry. I made it. Then why was the grappling there?
Vault Hunter, are you on your way?
Wolfie, you're so talkative tonight. Like, holy shit, do you ever stop talking? Oh my god.
As I live and breathe. Is that Lev? Have a little faith, darling. Your boyo Zane's on the case.
Poor Boyo. Oh my gosh, he used to say Boyo all the time. I loved it. That's what we would do when we would play 3. We'd be like, Boyo, Boyo.
do you even know what you want?
Aye, Boyo. Because it was discussion. I'm mostly just teasing because you just, every couple minutes I just see you fish.
The rippers round the catapult before you set up Sophia's toy. She's people all the time. But those rusty cybernetics are havoc on the guts. Don't let those gobshites intimidate you.
He literally just like moved his shoulder, like, ugh.
What's that?
Your brain stem.
You bitch. You bitch. I was healing.
Good choice. Really?
Wait, are you not dead? Oh my god. Come here, where are you? Come here. Where are you? Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Oh no. I'm gonna get you. Goodbye. Goodbye. I didn't even read your chat yet. Oops. Nice. What? Ah! Ah! Stop jumping! Oh, oh no. Okay.
Toys in place. Now what?
Run like your
Run!
bits depend on it. 'Cause they do! Here she comes, boys!
Hell yeah.
Nice, Sophia. Good girl.
Good girl.
That's me lass. 2 more catapults near you, Vault Hunter. Grab Sophia's toy and get moving.
Go.
Zane, did you let Sophia out? Is that your grand plan?
Well, it's my weekend with her. Plus, you were the one who said she needs more exercise.
I suppose you're right. If Carcadia must fall, we might as well go out in a blaze of Thresher's spit.
Oh, got even wetter.
Lev, why are the Ripper loonies tossing hell at you anyway?
Callus desperately wants her bolt back. I shudder to ask why.
Should have just given it to me.
Whoa, that ricocheted off the thing. That's kind of
Always
funny.
up for a good clean game. Same deal with this one, boyo.
Whee!
Murder the Rippers, place the toy, run for your life.
Very straightforward Borderlands quest. Yes, sir. Kill everybody so I can do the thing. Hey, hey, hey. Woo! Boyo. Boyo, what?
You lose.
Wait, what's the alternate fire? Airstrike? What? Wait, how do I do it? Do I let go? Ooh! Oh, I have to wait for it to charge? That was a missed opportunity for something really fucking cool. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. It's almost charged. I'm gonna do it again. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool.
Going with no.
Whee. Right, I'm gonna do it now. Ready? It's gonna be cool this time. Wait, not yet. Not yet, and it has nothing to do with the fact I died. I'm gonna die. Oh, I didn't. Okay, good. Oh wait, did it use my air? It used my airstrike while I was in my fight for your life. That's bullshit. That's all right. Well, I'll do something cool in another minute. Oops. Sheesh. Oh, I can't heal. There we go. Pop, 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 pop. Here's a grenade to your face. Whoops is next. Yay!
Here you go, Sophia.
Now get your ass out of there!
Oh, I did.
Look at my girl go!
Tremendous. Now please grab her toy and finish the last catapult. We can't take any more hits from the artillery.
I really need to crack my neck and it just like won't. No, guess. No. Come here. No, sir, come here. Got him.
Oh, nastier every time
Oh,
I touch it.
Go. Autocorrect got you? Oh no. And I didn't even get it.
Get me the Griswold! We gotta run!
Bruh. Bruh. Alright, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Ready? Get airstrike done, nerd. Oh, that was not as I thought it was gonna be like more than one just big strike. That would be a few, but guess that's what I get for assuming. Hello? I have shot this turret many a time. Many of the times. Bop, 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 bop. Just burn. Just burn. Alright. Whee. Whoa. Oh, this one's under a little
Got an
shield.
issue here. The Rippers have a force field around this thing.
Oh
the
no.
squeaky toy bit isn't gonna work.
Callus must be repurposing order tech.
They have figured out our gimmick.
With that, the power is coming from nearby. Tracing it now, and ha! Head here, and you can. If this plan works, Zane, I'm giving you the shiniest
Head here?
medal I can muster.
I settled for dinner with you. Skip the movie.
Oh, just straight to the banging.
Changed one bit. That's it. Punch that switch.
Boom.
Got it. Shields down.
Shield down.
Outstanding work, darling. Now take out that catapult if you'd be so kind.
Can I do a drive-by? Oh my god, I'm so sick.
Playful, Sophia.
Okay, scoot.
Hell yeah. Catapults are history.
Nice sound as well. Now, Levine. Let's talk about dinner. I'll bring the candles. You bring the,
Bow chicka bow wow. Yep.
Now, Zane. Ripper forces are overwhelming us in the city. Vault Hunter, we need you here.
Got it. On my
You
way.
bring the banging. Oh, the garbage. I thought it was a person, it's garbage. I'm very, I got stuck. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Just looking for little red dots on my compass.
Always feels good.
Just looking for little red dots on my compass. Whee. I'm going red dot hunting. I fucked up, look at it. At the last second, I think I moved.
Hello, little one.
Damn, I gotta get this. I gotta get one good fucking artillery shot here. Why are you not on fire? No, hit your balls. Hit your balls. Whomst is left? You? Okay. One for each of you. I'll let the poison do its thing. Oh, it use it. Okay, hold on. It's the same element as me, so I can't. Elemental Eater, or what? Does that work? Looks like it's working. Okay. Level 31. Pink. Kayambdi. Eating dinner while the machine was running and being with my parents. Next time I'll use less sugar. Oh, in your peach ice creams. I've gone so far. Wait, have I? Oh yeah, now I need to go back to Karkady, that's right.
Zane, where are you? There are rippers everywhere! Heading into the fray now, Quip! It's Quint!
Quip!
Quint! Jeez, Bio, can you pick a name and stick with it?
She certainly screams for ice cream. It's too funny. It's too funny. Another 38%er. Oh my gosh. Is that red, burnt orange? My short is kind of like a, it's more like a dark burgundy, maybe? Less purple. It's got maybe a little bit of purpley. Yeah, I would call it a burgundy. A burgundy. But thank you. It's time for fall colors. It's time for fall colors. Sweater season. Whoa, holy shiz. A little faster. One thing. Oops. Oh, relax. Sir, relax. Oh yeah. Sweater wetter. You got that sweater wetter. That's when you pee your sweaters. You're a sweater wetter. Whoa, my screen is shaking. Shorts in the afternoon? Yeah. Still gets to like 87 by the end of the day, yeah. Piss sweater. Do you guys not have a piss sweater? This is, guys, this is my piss sweater.
Show me what the new generation of Vault Hunters fights like.
Watch and learn, old man.
All the cool people do, I know. If you don't have a piss sweater, what are you doing with your life? The best time to wear a piss sweater is all the time. Exactly. There's no time like all the time. Somebody's like, is that piss? And I'm like, yeah, it's just my sweater. Like, wow, it smells like piss in here. And you're like, yeah, duh, it's sweater wetter. Somebody's like, I think you did not understand what that means.
Stay away from Oxy's
Black hole!
Carcadia's looking.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe she's pissing.
It's
She's pissing.
Talk 3 judges to keep you out of jail.
Stop trying to suck me off.
Win this battle, then we'll talk.
God, you'll never make Black Hole happen. Just give it up. Oh, sorry, Zane. You would have died like 70 times by now if there was friendly fire, just saying. Alright, I want these purples. Give me this one. So just one? Just one. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Wow. I'm going very fast, ma'am. Like, I am killing people faster than people literally should be killed. Died before they even lived. The vault that I did? Yeah, I think I have to get more keys. I don't think I have enough keys for any of them. TBH, TBH.
Sophia, don't get too far ahead, lass.
Whee. Hi, Sophia!
Again.
I'll kill you for that, Callus.
It's so rare to see someone with a spine. I'm tempted to hold it in my hands, but I have a higher calling to attend. Rippers!
What the fuck? Why do they kill off all the pets in these games?
Come back, you manky fish.
Zane, please save it. You must repel her rippers. Arcadia is still at stake.
That was fucked up. Did you guys see what happened? It literally like ripped its fucking jaw open.
I almost feel bad for you.
Spinning around too fast. What do you mean? I stopped right when it happened and I looked at it. You're too calm right now, my bro, my guy. Okay. Oh, nice. That accidentally worked.
Nice try.
Somebody wants pain.
Okay, I think that was the last of them.
Give me a legendary. Oh my god.
That's my favorite way to not be.
Let's just flirt. Vault key fragments and list of collectibles. Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
Aside from the hundreds of casualties, of course.
Zane, are you all right?
We
Maybe.
are. Sophia? Not so much.
She saved Carcadia.
Sucks.
Although with the bolt now in Callus's clutches, it may prove a
They
hollow
killed
victory for
fucking
both of us.
what's his
Come to the
name
leader's
from
chamber.
they killed Mordecai's
Meet
bird
face to
too,
face.
and then they killed Butt Stallion in Tiny Tina's. Is it Bloodwing? I can't remember. I think it's Bloodwing. Anyway, they killed Mordecai's bird. They killed Butt Stallion, and now they killed Sophia. Oh my god. Sophia! What's up, Rabbit? How you doing?
Calm, everyone.
Oh my god, I love her.
This is no way to treat my guest. A toast
Oh my god, I love her.
our hero.
No wonder everyone wants to bone her.
Sorry. We ran out of wine and potable water a few days ago, and all we have left are the fountains.
Ew. I haven't reached here yet. Oh, no problem, Izarl, of
Zane,
course.
you're worse off than I thought.
All right.
Oh my gosh, it's like shiny. You are a goddess. Mother. Stop. Zane, get out. I'm looking at her. Oh my god, mother. She is fucking gorgeous. Look at this. Oh my god, she's gorgeous. Look at her out. Look at her dress.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
Ugh. Mother. Mother, may I have another? She is so pretty. She is hands down the prettiest Borderlands character I've ever seen.
Welcome to Carcadia. It's in rough shape, I know, but the Electi will find a path ahead. Perhaps even into the Crimson Resistance.
Meh?
Now, I owe you a reward.
Ugh.
Believe me, no one is sorrier than I am that Callus took the command bolt.
Evil Geebag took a lot more than that.
I know. Try to contain your anger. We'll have our revenge for Sophia.
Why does the Ripper Queen need that bolt so badly?
Her skin is like cracked, like she's like made of like porcelain or something.
But in lieu of the promised bolt, I have a parcel of the finest Vault
Yeah,
Hunter
she's got
crap
these.
in
She has.
Arcadia,
I don't know if you can
waiting for you
see.
just down the
Can
way.
can I move my?
Fetch it at your leisure.
Right here, she has these black sleeves that are holding them up.
I must have left it after
Trust
we,
me, I know it doesn't make sense, but those are actually a thing in sleeveless sleeves.
or the crotch cut.
Sleeveless sleeves. Yeah, they've got little straps that hold them in place here.
Until
Right
you
here.
refused to retrieve it because you were not, as you said, my way-errand boyo.
Wouldn't have used the word we.
With Borderlands, I'm really like, oh, she's cool. Oh, I'd fuck that. She's like, I'll stop killing for her. I would literally do anything for this woman. And I am not even like, I'm not even into women, but she is like, she's straight literally a goddess. And I'm just like, you're perfect. Can I be you? Please? I don't even care that I have to be like cracked porcelain or whatever. You're so perfect.
Careful out there with last year's tech.
She's an ex. She's an ex. They've said. Collect my reward where? Yeah, I mean... Men, am I right? Men, am I right? Zane should know better than dating Moxie. Yeah, but men, am I right? Men, am I right?
I need your help testing out this bolt tracker. You in bed?
I mean, honestly, with the two women,
So it works.
Zane has flown a little too close to the sun, don't you think?
Testing.
Don't you think?
Got the weirdly sticky goods, Levane. Now what's the plan for getting the command bolt back?
When you right, and you right. Am I right?
But the truth is that I can't do much
That's
about
Claptrap.
Carcadia's
Careful
backup
saying
in
that word in my chat.
Perhaps you can
The bot will
help
think I'm in
speed
love
that
with
up.
him again.
Please meet Lady Yorick when you're ready to pitch in.
Whee! Everyone just looks at her bazongas. I listen to her bazongas. Nobody listens to her, but not exactly. Oh my gosh, I would listen to her bazongas. Hello, you're so perfect. I love you so much. Why wouldn't you be? You right, you right, you right. Why is this locked? Why are you locked? Wait, why are you here? Oh, here it is.
Future leaders of Carcadia.
Loxy is a black hole.
Important you know how
No one escapes. You say shit behind her back. Ellie will deal with ya.
came to call this place home.
Ellie will deal with ya.
In the aftermath of the cataclysm and Callus's subsequent insanity,
Love that.
the Timekeeper left the people of Carcadia to our doom. What had been designed as an off-season retreat for the aristocracy of Dominion became our permanent shelter. Many perished in the chaos, either torn apart by Callus's streaming horde, or caught in the crossfire of the synths.
I thought he said streaming, but he said screaming.
Still, though we lost much, we regained something.
Our
humanity.
Well, wait, do my tattoos change with my element? That's cool.
The house has turned a simple resort into a city. One that I hope,
So now they're
for the sake
pink.
of future leaders listening,
So now there should be pink.
the test of time.
Do I have any other elements? Do I have any other elements? Any other? Any other? Any other? No. I do have to go piss, girl. So, you see. So we're gonna go wait for this man. And then I'm gonna go piss, girl. Do you want to look? Here, let's look at this purple thing. It's kind of cool to look at, right? Here we go. BRB. Okay, we're back. Thank you to those of you who waited. It looks like 4 of you couldn't wait for me to pee. Cool. Anyway, let's go. Wait, we're talking to this man. We are so back. Whew.
Ah, yes, our gunslinging help. I am Leader Yorick of the Technologists. And my, look at you. The universe gives with
She's a
both hands
burrower.
sometimes.
With that tone of voice, I'd rather you
But she
didn't
can't
present
figure
me,
out sometimes how to get, like, underneath. It's very funny.
Of course. To the point, Carcadia is in shambles. Power, water, fast
I
travel,
did pee on my
vending
sweater.
machines, all on the blink.
Bordering
That
4
other stuff
lands.
I can live without, but the vending machine?
I did. I peed on my sweater.
draw the line there. How can I help?
Start with the power. Use those sinuous legs of
Sweater
yours to
weather.
find the core electrical relay,
Yorick's demeanor is off-putting, but you're doing Carcadia a great service. The other 2 house leaders could use your assistance as well, if you have a moment.
Find the core relay. Yeah, you couldn't walk 44 feet over here and get this, my guy?
You see those infernal Ripper orbs? They're scrambling the power circuits. Have at them.
A few bullets should take care of these bad boys.
What? 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 Wait, those? Oh, yeah, okay. Is that it? Is that it? Entering area waypoint. Oh, that one's kind of blended in there. Oh, I see. So that means one of these is probably blended in somewhere? Whoa. What? Oh my god, that one was so hard to see.
Deliciously done. Just flip the switch to reactivate the grid.
Just flip the switch. I like when they say things like, yeah, just flip the switch. Like, if it was so easy, then... Why?
Find the valves to
Are
get
you
our
not here?
water flowing. And while you're about, restore our key systems. It's a simple matter of electrical rerouting.
Dude, aren't you the tech chief here? Shouldn't you be handling that?
Yeah.
With a fresh manicure. Are you mad?
True.
No, Yorick, don't be
That's
angry.
true, bestie. True,
I can't
bestie.
understand how offensive they've been.
So true, besties. This man. This man. Flawless game. Flawless game. Flawless.
Give it a few cracks.
He's so happy.
Why do I feel dirty doing this?
You made it, Dirty Vex. At least he's confident. It's true. He's just having such a good time. And these two were just trying to have a conversation. You know? This one looks a little... I mean, are you angry? Oh, wait. Oh! Wait, are you coming back? Oh, no, we're coming back! Oh, but now we're going slow. Now it's the slow walk. Can I help? Oh, I just set him. I just reset him, so now he's going fast again. Can I reset him? Can I fix him? Sir, I can fix you. Let me fix you! Oh, he's like dancing now. Oh, he dancing. Oh, he dancing. Come on. Sir. Go somewhere else. Come on. Let these ladies talk. They are not interested. No, they don't. They're not interested. Sir. I shot him in the... Yeah, because that's where he deserves it. Hold on, I have to allow that. People can say the word dick. I don't know why that's blocked. You're allowed to say dick. I don't know why that got blocked. Sir. Sir, no means no. God, whatever. Sorry, ladies. I tried. I really tried, ladies. I'm sorry. I tried to pretend I knew you from a previous, you know, life and...
Once again, I'm Penelope Streams with the first coat in the absolutely legitimate hunt for the legendary vending machine. Keep it here for all your vending needs because, it's a slow news day.
Hello, Penelope
there,
Streams.
Random average citizen. Time for an interview?
Yeah. Sure.
What fresh nonsense is this?
I am, obviously, Penelope Streams, host of the best and, incidentally, only hard-hitting man-on-the-street news segment here on Cairo.
Wait, your name is Penelope Streams? I thought that was just like your screen name.
The way cooler and entirely legal successor to the Vault Hunters. We have merch.
Merch.
A vault, you say? But you are aware that vault hunting is expressly forbidden on Kairos.
Oh, no. We're not Vault Hunters. We're Vault Gatherers.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. That name's the best you could do?
It makes a statement.
It certainly does. And you believe this fabled, legendary vending machine you're after could be in a vault?
Well, the cat has made its decision, so that's where you are. Sorry.
And key, but I promise you this: wherever it is, the Vault Gatherers will find it and plunder its booty.
Riveting stuff.
Booty.
You, extremely well-armed onlooker, what do you think of this legendary vending machine?
It sounds stupid, but I do like stuff. Plus, I can't let these
Can I step on her?
gatherer clowns win.
Oh,
right?
come on. Get out of here.
Exactly the kind of raw take I was looking for.
Stop kicking me off you.
Up-to-the-minute coverage. Who will solve the mystery first? Who will unearth the truth of the legendary vending machine? Who cares? But first, a message from our sponsors.
Oh, she disappeared. Okay. 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 Guys, it's been about 2 hours. I think it's time.
That should do the job.
Whee!
So efficient for a member of the proletariat. Bravo.
Thanks.
Pizza time? Mm-hmm. Give me a fucking legendary. I used the goddamn golden key and there's no legendary in here. Sue! PK fire!
Levain, any ideas percolating about that command bolt?
Only that it's certain to be with Callis. That's the thorny bit. We've no idea where her base is. She's almost invisible to us. Strange, no?
No, not really.
Okay,
Usually the enemies are.
Impeccable work. Levain was right.
Wait, is this... Are you showering, miss? Whoa, that's the teeniest, tiniest little fucking bra I've ever seen in my life. Your titties are about to fall out. You sneeze, your titties are falling out.
It's Zane. After you left, I went to check on him, but he was just gone. I can't even raise him on comms. I'm afraid...
He went out for revenge on Callis.
Oh no.
Precisely. Please, Can you track him down before he tries to take
Fucking
on the
Zane,
entire
bro.
Ripper army? Head southwest for Firedust Bridge, and quickly. I'll direct you from there.
Right, if she breathes, her nipple's gonna fall out.
Zane's recklessness. At first, I found his unpredictability enthralling. But after our 20th daring escape from death, I realized he can't not live on the edge of disaster. He just
Nip
does
slip.
Zane.
Wait a sec. If Zane disappeared without a word, how do you know where to start looking? What a deeply normal relationship you two have.
How do I leave? How do I leave without you? I want to know. Imagine I just did this the whole game, guys. This is how I traversed everywhere. Those buttons are too close to one another. Those buttons are too close to one another. Gravity's not... Actually, there is no fall damage in Borderlands. No fall damage, full send! Ooh, there's wait, I don't have the keys though. Right? I don't have keys. Vault door found. I don't have keys. Alright, let's look at our map. Jump off the ledge and say there's no fall damage. Fall damage! No fall damage! Nothing can touch me! Yay! Nothing can touch me! Oh no. Okay, so if you do explore... Huh? My Harlow commits war crimes now. Oh, you have a Harlow build too? Harlow? I think Harlow might be the only other character I try, but honestly, I probably won't. Honestly. Grindstone of the wordy. The wordy. Oh, Harlow's your first.
I'm at the bridge, Levain. I don't know how Zane got across. Rippers have definitely messed with it.
Sadly, I'm not surprised. But the plateau on the other side is where Zane's signal gave out. Look for a way to lower the bridge.
Yeah, I've been trying to lower this bridge, but now that we're here in the story, now I fucking can, huh? Oh my. Torch to Kai. Oh!
You lose.
Oh no, this SMG's fine, I guess. Okay, find a way to lower the bridge. Oh, you don't say. Whee. Wow, this whole time.
Let's hope this does something.
Oh my god. Stretch. Holy shit.
Okay, it's a start, at least. Now for the other half.
Huh? Seriously. 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 What kind of bridge system is this?
Well, shit. Plan B time.
See.
Feel free to demolish anything in your path, by the way. I know you Vault Hunters enjoy your spirited mayhem.
Really? Oh, really?
Nice.
You don't say.
Well done, darling. Now hurry to the other side. I'll mark Zane's last coordinates from before his tracker faded away.
Whee! Oh yeah, I've been trying to get up here. Is there
After all this
looties over
time,
here?
Why would the signal suddenly peter out?
I truly can't guess. I just hope we're not too late.
Bop, 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 bop. What a good System of a Down song.
Vault Hunter! Hey! It's Quint! Help me with these
Quent's
jerks,
not a
okay?
name. What? How are you dodging my grenades? Bar shot? I don't think so.
I was hoping you'd come. Praying, actually.
That's actually like a dope fight song. Safe house, the low rise, but how? Oh, right there, maybe? Yeah. Acid tongue. Hate that. Oh, I'd so much rather you didn't. Nice. Nice. Oh my gosh, he separated and he was just legs? He was just legs? Whee! This I did not foresee. You can never foresee this dick. Oh, they tried to suck me off. Did you guys see that? Tried to suck me off.
Feeling like I'm 10 feet tall!
It's for your loot. What is going on with these little helicopters over here? I'm so pissed right now. I ran out of jetpack because I was in the middle of fucking jetpacking. It's annoying as hell. Alright, so how do I get back to where I was? Think about those grenades, we'll just do something. Oh, that's so annoying. I still can't believe I fucking fell. Sucks! Look, I'm all the way down here. That means I literally have to go all the way back. Fucking seriously? I can't believe he knocked me back and I didn't have jetpack to get back. Oh, it's so annoying. All these people are half dead. How is that a thing? What is hitting me from the side, though? Okay, just miss every shot, actually, is what I meant.
Into the dark.
Fuck, I'm so pissed! I can't believe how much further back I've got to go to get back up here. How do I do this? Oh my god, what is with these fucking grenades? Okay, so how do I get back? Shit, how do I get back? Around? Hmm? That was a smart but jackass move, having one of the fucking psychos up there that can slam you and hit you backwards like that. Like, that was a fucked up thing to do, but also smart move on the devs' part. Because, like, look what happened. Because look what happened. Startled herself awake. That's funny. It's just like, that was definitely not me. It couldn't have been. The cooldown on the scan needs to be lower. Because the line fucking disappears before you can rescan. Now I can go across. Can't believe how fucking far around you had to go to get back here.
Whatever. Going through.
For dinner tomorrow? Is tomorrow anything special, or are you just planning ahead? Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully not get completely fucked this time. Yay. No, 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 sir. They do not. I hate to break it to you. I have to go to the store in order to eat tomorrow. What about some, like, cauliflower rice? With, like, a sauce. What am I fucking... Oh my god, I was stuck in this hole.
You even know what you want?
Okay, there he is. I see you this time, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that guy... Sorry, what? Was that barrel just had legs? Popped off. Okay, so it says that there's a thing right here. 3. No. Do you lie? Why do you lie? Why do you lie? Where the fuck's the console? Oh, over here. Capture the flag! Deorbital descent. Yay! Hooray! Good job, little dude. Why do you lie? What the fuck? Aquariums. It doesn't say it's below. It says it's here. No. Oh my gosh. Why are you like this, game? Stop it. Okay, it's not here. It's not here. All right, this is it directly under? It shouldn't be because there's not an arrow that says it's under. Yeah, see, this says it's above. Yeah, it says it's above me right there. Do I have to leave? Do I have to leave and come back? Relatively low carb recipe. Mama Pinkwood, if she was here, she would have so many. Alright, I'm gonna fast travel back here. I know that seems silly, but maybe it'll reload this area? Okay, that didn't work. Maybe if I leave entirely and come back. It says it's right here. Fried chicken. Making fried chicken with almond flour. Hell, making fried chicken period takes so long. It does make such a mess. It is true. That do be true. No, it's not, because it would be, they would have an arrow that says it's up. And I don't know how to get, all right, let's try it. Let's see. Because technically, if it's up, it would be on the different floor, but you might be, nope, see, it says there's an arrow pointing down. What the fuck? See, when I'm up, there's an arrow that's pointing down, which means it's below me. But now right here, it's the same height as me. What? That doesn't fucking make sense. Alright, I'm gonna leave this area entirely and come back. Here. Geography Queen! Nailed that one! Queen! Why am I so tired? I'm not tired! Just always tired. Ooh, a rotisserie chicken with some cauliflower to go with it? Yeah, that sounds good. That do be sounding. Chef's kiss. Motherfucker! Whatever, game. Whatever, game. Keep your secrets. Keep your secrets.
Over the skies. Our ships are being shot down at lower altitude than ever before.
All right,
Is this a shift in strategy? Is the Timekeeper preparing to invade Carcadia? I fear for the future of the Electi, if that's true. For now, I recommend ground transport unless absolutely necessary. And these crops I'm carrying, they're absolutely necessary. Wish me luck. Tarple's out.
I'm sorry, what? Show me the vending machines here? I'm sorry, what? Where? Quamps? Are these liar vending machines? I don't believe you. It says that there's vending machines. But there is very much not vending machines. Alright, let's leave again. And we'll come back again to see if maybe leaving and reloading it again will make it work. Hello, driver. Welcome in. How are you? Alright, let's do that. Now let's do this. Oh, hi, driver. Hi, driver. Driver, do you have diarrhea? There's still not vending machines here. You're fucking liars. You're fucking liars. There's no vending machines here. Why? I need the vending machines. I need to sell my garbage. Sell my garbage. Nary a ball to be seen? Never. Never in driver's possession, that's for sure. False vending machines. Oh my god, hi. Hello. Oh my god, hi. I haven't talked to you in so long. Oh my gosh, I need a stretch. I need a stretch minute. My neck, my neck, my back. I'm not gonna finish that song. My crack. My neck is stiff, but I think it's how I slept. So I'm gonna go into my living room and stretch for a minute. I'm back. Oh. The bot just fucking KO'd driver over there. KO. Oh my gosh, what is in the way that I can't slide my chair in all the way? I think it's Allie. He probably does like getting railed by the bot, to be honest. TBH, TBH, TBH. Whee.
Quent? What are you doing here?
Zane said he needed a trusted lookout for an important
Getting
mission.
entirely called out in
And he
chat.
said I'd work too.
Look at my little
You're
piggy
with Zane?
tails.
Perfect.
Look
Where
at
is
my
he now?
piggies. Look at my piggies.
He went ahead
My
into the abandoned order refinery.
My
a while ago.
piggies.
Too long, honestly. There are tons of rippers in there. I can't call him either.
Widowy
Calls go haywire when you
widowaited.
get close. Something's
Widowy
interfering with my signal.
widowaited. I go to this Mexican roast chicken place. Went in and get a whole chicken, 3 sides salsa. Oh,
Zane dragged him along.
sounds good.
Turns out comms around the scrapyard are being blocked somehow.
That may explain why Callus has been so invisible to us. Perhaps she's trying to prevent the Timekeeper from finding out what she's...
Damn, comms really are on the fritz.
Questioning his life choices about coming to watch stream. No. And none of you should be questioning any life choices you make. You're all longtime viewers at this point. Oh, I was waiting for him to keep talking to me. Lol. He's like, I'm done. You can leave now. Goodbye. Widowy annihilated. Obliterated. Scan. Oh, I'm sorry. What? One there, and then one inside somehow. Whee. Funk. Alright, so where's this one? Whee. Whee. Just finished washing my butt because you had diarrhea. You don't have diarrhea anymore, but you had diarrhea before. Widowy diarrhea. Widowy, where is this ball? Oh, right there? Widowy? No, that's not that one. Huh? Oh, okay, well I see that one, so I guess that's it. I like lost what I was doing. Guys, I don't wish this upon anybody. This having absolutely zero sense of direction. Wittaway! My gosh.
They may hold answers to the mystery of this place.
My gosh.
The craftsmanship is reminiscent of the vault arch I came through, if not an exact match. They are made of something.
So she's a siren, this girl whose little journals I've been collecting by doing those things.
It felt familiar. It is that same withering I feel when I leech life.
Penguin!
This metal. This is the cause. But I have little use for something hungrier than I.
Penguin!
Quick way to end things.
No sense of direction in life or both. Well, like, okay, so like no sense of direction like on a map, but also no sense of direction in like, I don't know what direction I'm going with in my life. You know? 86 no balls driver. That's what they called me in high school, but not really. That's what they call him now. Oh, that was kind of an interesting little... I'm not sure if that's the way I was supposed to go, but I went that way. Guys, what if I was? What if I actually was the voice of Link this whole time?
No harm in knocking, I guess.
What would you do? What even would you do?
Delivery of... what do rippers like? Spines! Lots of them!
What? Didn't you hear the main gate's closed, moron?
Painsley.
Fast-talking merc prowling around. Go to the back entrance. And you gotta have the password.
Well, I fucking don't.
Didn't you get it?
No.
I forgot. On account of being a dumb ripper. Let me check again. Quent, can you hear me? The front gate's sealed, but they have the password at the ripper camps nearby. I'll check it out. Meet me at the side gate, okay?
A blind date?
Driver, you got a shiny!
So, you know, I have a severely inflamed left...
Not blind date. Side gate. Yeah, forget it. I'll try him after I get that password.
He has a severely inflamed left nut. 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 Why me get fucked? I'm glad you got balls in time to get the shiny. I'm glad your balls were replenished in time. My porch light was on and there's a giant moth on my door like, Lomp. I love Lomp. Wreck of the last breed. Oh. Ew, what is that? Why does he look like that? Wait, why do you look like that? Ew, why do you look like that? Ew, Holy shit. Holy shit. How many of these fuckers are there? Come on. Oh, to those who made fun of me, to those who come after. And also because, what are you gonna do about it? Get fucked, nerd. I mean, JK. Three vastly different responses. Yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. Ooh, what this? Hello? You claim to have a thing here again. Below me? Below, not below. Don't get a dirty mind, you guys.
People of Kairos, free yourself from
I would never. No.
embrace
Definitely not.
and I will welcome
Oh, I'm double SMGing and I didn't realize it. Yeah, I'm double SMGing on accident. I need to get out. I need to get out. I need to change. No!
So easy.
What do you mean, get a dirty mind? Oh, it's true. You already have one, right? I'm out of ammo. I'm all out of ammo. I'm so lost without ammo. I bet you guys never expected to have there be live music every stream, huh? Oh my. How are you still alive? How are you alive? Alright, now there's nobody here. Now I have to switch because I accidentally have 2 SMGs on. Alright, so that's 759, 628. So let's put you down here. What? Okay, whatever. I'll just change this to a fucking pistol then. A fucking pistol. That's a Sabia. 483, 321, 604. Whoa, 604. Launched a double cream packet shot. Ooh. I think that's the one I was using before, TBH. Well, no, it has an exclamation point on it. Huh? No, they all had an exclamation point because I had something new. Okay. Well. I got 2 points. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Give me lifesteal. How many points do I got? 200. 200. Clearly we need that. Clearly we need that. I'll do that and that. And then we'll save. I do have wingies. Aren't I like so cute? I wish I could spin. Hold on. Can I spin myself around in the customization screen? Yeah, see? Here you go. It's my little jetpack. My little rocket jetpack that I have. Whoa, I just really look at how I just realized how thin her waist is. I couldn't see because of her coat. Holy girl. Girl! Where are your organs? Girl. Girl. Where are your organs? Girl. Girl. She snatched. Is that how they say it? Yes, that's how good job. Girl. Oh, that one kind of cool. Whee. See, that's metallic-y. That one's kind of cool. We're not changing, though. We're definitely leaving the unicorns on. What's Canada? What do you think of Rush? The band? The band Rush? Like Tom Sawyer? 2112? Geddy Lee? Neil Peart? And that other guy? And that other guy? I like how I can fucking name 2/3 of Rush. Alex Leaves, I believe you. Find your ribs that you removed. Doesn't look fun to snuggle. I mean, her leg's thick though. Oh no, her legs are not even thick. Her legs aren't even thick. She's so skinny. Oh my. Does she even have a booty? We can't tell. We can't tell if she have a booty.
It was only then that I could feel my truest.
Wasn't it a TV show, Rush? Was there a TV show called Rush? There may have been. Well, is that what you're referring to? Wabbit. You waska wee wabbit. Alright, what's on my... There's gotta be collectible. See? I knew... Wait! I forgot that they do this. I probably have so many. My gosh. No, the character? 100 years ago. 100 years ago. Sir, you take that back right now. He's fine, I guess. He's fine, I guess. Oh, that was funny. I, like, completely erased from my memory that there was a character named Rush in this. It's from the 1900s. We were in the 2000s, so 100 years ago. Oh my god. Spooky. Rabbit. Motherfucker. Were you born in the 2000s? Is that why? Alright. Movement speed, max shield capacity, health regen per second. Okay, how do I look at inspect? Why? So what is this? Gun accuracy is increased. So do you have to have 3 things with Deadeye on for those to stack like that? Is that how that works? That must be how that works, right? Ooh, that's ordnance cooldown rate. And then that's... No, let's do this one. I was born in exactly... There are children here? Guys, this is an 18+ stream. I need to see some ID. I know. Who do you think you are? If you're born in 1999, you're 100 years old instantly. So, Izarl, we just were informed that if you were born... If there's a 19 in the front of your birth year, you are 100 years old. We just learned that just now. Breaking news. Breaking news. You heard it here first. I'm also 100 years old. Yes, if the year of your birth starts with a 19, you're 100 years old. The fact you say this is an 18+ stream, it being born in 2000. No, 2000 was like 5 years ago. No. 2000 was just a few years ago. It's not that long, please. 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 It can't be that long. It's fine. Okay, Gramps, the fetuses will take it from here. Wow, guys. Wow. Booming potent reefer grenade. I'll fuck with it. Let's see. Oh yeah, these are the new these are my shields. I think my shield's pretty good. TBH. It was just the other day. That's what I'm saying. Like, high school was like just a couple years ago. It's fine. I'll do Odwell. People thought I was mad, you know? Mad. All because I dared to dream of a race of atomic supermen with octagonal bodies that suck blood. What? What? I don't get that. They have kids my age. Ugh. Blech. I need to sell some shit. I need a better fucking pistol. I need some fucking legendaries. I need so much stuff. Where do I get legendaries from? Except for that one that I randomly picked up in a machine. Not even a machine, like a fucking just random ass drop.
Keep hacking, little bud.
Keep hacking, little bud. I'll buy you some time.
Whoa. My guy, you take so many hits. Oh no, I need to get back in the area. No. Holy shiz. Ooh, heal, heal, heal. Kidding, spy. Nice. Talk Superman versus Harlem Globetrotters. I haven't heard of. I mean, I've heard of them, but I haven't heard of them in a long time. Has anybody actually been to a Globetrotters game? And trails off as he wanders off. What kind of legendary you want? First of all, I need a pistol. All my pistols have been super shitty, but I just like where are legendaries? We're not getting legendaries. They're super skimpy with them in this game. Not skimpy, because that'd be slutty. Stingy. That's the right word. They're super skimpy. Listen, I don't judge. It's hot out there for a hoe. Right, GG? You just sucked me off! Oh my god!
Why so twitchy?
Oh wait, I can take this from him? That was kind of... Oh, I guess I was too slow. Oh, yeah, I knew it. I knew I was gonna go down. I was definitely gonna not get that in time. No, move out of my way. Move out of my way. I need to get this guy in the back. There we go. Bro, these guys are ridiculous. Yep, that's crazy. There's no way. Oh, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. Oh, there's no way. It's a badass and then one of these fucker. Yeah, no way. Oh. Big Time Rush. The band was called Rush. No, they were called Big Time Rush, weren't they? Like, cause they're a band outside of the show, aren't they? You're watching through Futurama.
Somehow.
You know, when you were little, your dad's enjoying Futurama. There's a lot of, I think, adults who can enjoy the humor of Futurama for sure. 19 Dicty Tree. An onion on my belt. Oh my gosh. There's so many Futurama references. Of course, that like now I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's so many that I used to love and I used to quote all the time. Like I use the "I don't want to live on this planet anymore" like GIF like all the time. No, I know they created the bit, but like they're a band now. Like they have music as Big Time Rush. Like I've heard it on the radio. Currently, I don't want to live on this planet. Honestly, there's a lot of shit that I'm like, why? Why is this where we are in the world? How did we get here? How did we get here? You've literally said in the past week. I mean, if it fits, it fits. If it fits, I sits. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, where's the thing that I got? Over here. Right behind me. Zero clue, I've always used Futurama, but ever since I first saw the first episode, I've always loved it as a kid. There's a few series you can watch endlessly. That's Bob's Burgers for me. I can Bob's Burgers, like, anytime. That's crazy that they didn't leave. My dude, this is crazy. Stuck again. There's 3 of them? How is this happening to me? How could this happen to me? Oh my god.
Keep hacking, little bud. I'll buy you whatever time you need.
This is crazy! Pakafa!
That's my favorite.
Wait, do I have to start entirely over because I left the area for too long? Yeah, probably. Woo! No, I need heals. Oh, I need heals. Holy shit. Ooh, there's heals over there. There's heals over there. Okay, good. Out of ammo. Unfortunate. I love TDR. Yeah, I know, they're so good. Do you like Jacob's pistols? I do like Jacob's pistols, yeah. I actually really like Jacob's pistols a lot. I used a legendary Jacobs in 3 for almost the whole game. It was like super under leveled. It was like a level like 30 or 2 or something like that, and I was like still using it like well into the 60s. It was one of the ones that like ricocheted the bullets too, so like if you got like a headshot, because Jacobs are super accurate, if you got a headshot it would like ricochet to like everybody around. It was so good. I can't remember what it's called. I think it had like a girl's name. All shotgun and axe. Oh, is there an... What are you doing? Why is there like...
This move is a real killer.
Why is Home Doc just like running around? Woo! A loot psycho, you say? Jamie's got a gun? Yeah, true. Oh my god, more of these guys! This is crazy. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. Stop shooting at me. Or I'll kill you, baby. I'm pretty sure that's how that song goes. Oh, the charge. Got me there. Ugh. Oh my god! Woo-hoo-hoo. That was crazy.
The people of Kairos deserve some better.
That was crazy. That was fun, but that was crazy. But that purple looked good. That's a purple pistol. Purple pistol. Type pistol. Oh, it's not even. Flung a dentist approved widget. Combo javelin thrown gun is propelled forward and can be shot to increase the explosion's damage. Oh, let's try it. It has a COV magazine. You can try it. It does a little bit less damage, but it might be fun. Might be fun. Wait, do you have the phantom flame already? That looks like. Oh, hold on. Let me check these things. Purple pistol. Purple. This one. Hold on. This one. Money, please. Hi, Busted. So good to see you. Money, please. The new Borderlands is so much fun. I'm having so much fun. You have it already? Yeah, but can I get it again at a higher level? Because I liked it. It's just it's such a low level now. Yeah. Is there? I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, let me look. I haven't even looked at what settings. I just like let it calibrate and did it on its own. It's on very high and I'm fine. I haven't had, knock on wood, I haven't had any crashes. I've had very, very, very minimal stuttering. Like, I mean, very minimal stuttering. I think there's been like a few barely noticeable moments. I'm doing great so far, honestly. Yeah, I haven't had any problems. I wish I was very high right now. Guys, I don't normally talk about this on stream, but I have to have a conversation with you guys. I have been working at my job for so long, and you know that every month I get a monthly allowance, right? So I have been taking all of my monthly allowance over the past year and a half, and I've just been getting different strains of different stuff, and I've just been putting it in mason jars because I can't smoke it fast enough. So I have 2 salads basically of fucking exotic strains because every month I get a ½ ounce and I can't fucking smoke it fast enough. I smoke a decent amount, but I can't fucking smoke it fast enough. Like, it's crazy. Let's make a deal. I know, right? So yeah, so literally I have two mason jars full that I'm just like do you like I don't know, anybody who has ever smoked and like were very, very young when they started smoking, and like you would like take every single like morsel of flour and every like leaf and every crumb, and you would like smoke like the keef, and you'd like scrape like resin and you smoke. I literally wipe piles of weed off my desk. I throw away half smoking joints. Like I'm so bad now because I have so much of it that I'm just like eh. Through apples. I mean, that was way back in the day. Yes, you're more than welcome to help me come get rid of some of this. You're more than welcome to come help relieve me of some of my excess. Yeah, I get a half ounce a month. So it's like literally. Pot giveaway. Yeah, right. Start baking. So yes, Dirge said that too. That could be a fun stream. I wonder if I could get convince my mom to do it with me. Help me make some edibles. That'd be fucking hilarious. Or just don't tell her and just like give her the butter. Well, no, because I would have to make the butter and she would definitely smell that. Sounds like a dope employer. Do you get it? 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 Yay! Stoner pie! I'm a dispo baby. He's now hitting the point where no dispos are strong enough, so I gotta learn how to roll. Yeah. Learning how to roll is not bad, though. And also, you can do things like these. Like, you can do things like these where you can just get cones. And, like, so for example, like, these are my cones, right? But they come with... So literally, you get your cone. You get your cone, and you put your little thing in there, right? And then you put it in, and then it's a joint. The funnel. It's a funnel. It's a funnel because I'm so funny. An old-fashioned cigarette roll. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, and there's the ones that are like the little machines where you put the paper in and then you put it in and then you like twist the things and it. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Are you okay, sir? You have one of the machines? I'm not bad at rolling. I just the cones are so easy. Plus they have the little filters too, so you don't get the Scooby snacks.
In the heavens, if you finish my antenna, I know we can bring it down to Kairos. Communicate with it.
Struggle smoke rolling backwards, upside down with one hand tied. I remember you'd be like,
finish what I
and you'd have to like hold it up top with like your fingers, and you have to use your thumbs just to, and then the middle would always blah, 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 blah. It's a mess, guys. We struggled back in the day. You guys don't know. You have it so easy. We had to smoke out of Mountain Dew cans. We had to have a plastic bottle with some laundry, some dryer sheets in it. We'd have to exhale in it because we'd be smoking in places we weren't supposed to be smoking, and it couldn't smell like we'd be smoking. It was rough. It was rough back in my day. A burrito joint makes sense. Makes sense. Gatorade gravity bongs. Also a thing. Also, I think I have that. Can you do exclamation point illegal? What is it under? I can't remember. I have that. I have that as a sound, and I can't remember what it is. Fuck, what would it be? Huh. Huh. Unless it just didn't go off. What would it be under? That's the only thing I can think of that it would be. Now I'm curious. I know you guys aren't curious, but now I'm curious. Oh, okay. It's murder. Hold on.
That's actually murder. It's one of the worst crimes of all, so also illegal.
That's what it is. I forgot that it's the whole clip. It's the whole clip. I should probably trim it down and just do the illegal part. Can you tell Nate I said hi someday? No, I can't. Saying it's super normal now. I'd guess less peer pressure for kids now. Oh, yeah, I mean, but also, like, it's not as taboo as it used to be. Like, I don't know. Remember it was, like, the gateway drug, and it's like, no, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. The barrels with legs are kind of funny. Do they blow up? Yeah, they do, kind of. They give you a pill for it. That's also true. Oh, come on. What just got me? First I have to reload. Holy flying flyers. Guy I went to high school with lived with a bunch of dudes in college. One of them inherited from someone. They built an elaborate pipe that could be smoked in multiple rooms with a brand new toilet, like straight out of the box on the top floor. Then a series of pipes going down the various rooms, the first floor, and then... That's in-fucking sane. Also, like, are they engineers? Because they need to be. Yeah, that's what I was like. Are they engineers? Because, yeah. That's funny. Go over here. You're lying. Oh my god, you're not the only armor engineer IRL in the world. Rabbit, I know that was kind of rude, but he and I don't talk anymore. We're just apparently still shift friends, even though we're not friends on anything else. Are literally Zans, yeah. My bad. No, I know, you haven't been here for a while, and that's why, like, I thought you were joking, but then at first I was like, oh, clearly, like, he hasn't been here, he doesn't know. Like, I thought, like, because, like, I thought you were being sarcastic because you saw his name on my thing. But then I realized, oh, he might be serious. He might be serious. Whee! So good. So good. Water under the bridge. Dark, dirty water under the dilapidated and not well-maintained bridge, but you know. I missed many lore pages, yeah. Yeah, a lot of changes happened over the past few years, to be honest, which can be a good thing. But you know what? We rediscovered our community and all that cheesy shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Chill out. Yeah, the pixel lore. All we can do is walk forward. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. That's the only reason, the literally only reason that I even clarified at all was because I know you haven't been around, so you probably thought, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's all good. Search the sky for the visitor. Oh, Dunks Watson. Hi.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
This is Penelope Streams interviewing Dunks Watson on the completion of his multi-decade slam and jam. Dunks, your thoughts?
I've seen things you wouldn't believe.
Tell our viewers more about that.
I floated for years in space, all but dead. Just barely alive enough to do exactly what I needed to do. I promised I would slam and jam, and that is what I have done.
Why does he have, like, 3D glasses on, though?
And now
I'm so confused.
it's time
Yeah.
to go.
That was Dunks Watson.
What the fuck?
Greatest b-ball player who has ever lived or will ever live. I'm Penelope Streams wishing you good night and good ball.
What?
Oh, you found him. Found who? Was that a reference I didn't get? I didn't get that reference! That's a Blade Runner monologue? You've seen things you wouldn't believe? He just did a galactic dunk with zero I know. Like, literally, he just did a slam- he just did a fucking dunk in that basketball hoop. Is that a Space Jam oh my god, is it a Space Jam reference? Is that a Michael Jordan Space Jam reference? Yeah, but he said other stuff. The dude that went to do the greatest dunk ever in one of the earlier games and jumped into space? What was his name? Dunks what? What is his name? Dunks what? Watson. Oh my gosh. Okay, so his side quest is Boom Shakalaka in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. He attempts the ultimate slam dunk, but jumps so high he escapes Elpis's gravity, becoming a frozen Easter egg in Borderlands 3. Yeah, so it's the pre-sequel. It's the pre-sequel. That's why I was like, I so vaguely remember that even happening. But that's because I've only played the pre-sequel once. All the others I've played multiple times. I'm gonna grab this really, really quick. There are layers to that. Some of their references really go deep. Like, did anybody find the Game of Thrones reference in Borderlands 3? Which was one of my favorites.
Cowards!
There it is, right there.
Welcome back to
3 games to finish a joke. 11 years. 11 years to finish that joke. Very fucking funny, though. Much appreciated.
Yeah, so these thick-skinned jerks are gonna harass you all over Carcadia. And here's the funny thing, they don't want to eat us. All pangolins are after is insects. But
Pangolin!
super defensive, especially around their young.
that armor, ugh. I tried
I
punching it
hope.
once, almost broke my hand.
Right.
So here's
Can
a
anyone
pro tip.
answer? Are pangolins in other Borderlands games?
Focus on taking its armor down fast.
Because if they are not in other Borderlands games, I really hope that that's a Benedict Cumberbatch reference. The shield, yes. No, the pangolins. The animals. Penguin. Oh yeah, you're right. Pangolin was a shield. You're right. Is it the same though? Oh, well that's not fun. I thought it was a Benedict Cumberbatch reference. Well, I'm gonna pretend that it is. And honestly, you guys literally can't stop me, so. Lol, Benedict Cumberbatch. No, they're penguins.
How epic was that fight against the Order? So incredible!
There's a vault symbol right there. Can I get there?
She masked up Noxbite. Best moment of my life. Hell yeah!
Filth Teeth and Scumridge.
And crushed the synth like gosh. And while that gold-faced yellow-bellied timekeeper just stood on the hill looking all shadowy and mad.
Did you really think we'd be scared of a bunch of synths standing in lines? We're immune to line-based intimidation.
I don't like the name Filth Teeth.
Such an expensive battle, though. A big splash and then a stalemate. It's kind of like, for what?
I was trying to listen before I go.
Are you kidding? It was awesome. You're here, aren't you?
You should Google penguins. Well, I don't need to Google penguins because I already know what penguins look like. Thank you. And since pangolins are not real, I really thought that was a Benedict Cumberbatch reference, and I was really happy. Bitch. What the hell? Why am I going the other way? Oh, you hit me, didn't you?
What is happening with your base area?
Yeah. Nice. Wait, is he dead? Oh yeah, I guess so. Out of ammo. Always out of ammo, like driver out of balls. Wait, did I hear it? Oh no, it was purples. I don't like that the purples are similar to legendaries, just not as like kingy. The noises, I mean. He frenzied. He frenzied. Can I tell you about my current shotgun? Absolutely not. Are you out of your mind? Yes, of course you can. That hitbox is... No, that's non-existent. Get out of here with that. Non-existent. You're gonna continue Borderlands 2, I just never booted it up. What's cool is the alternate firing mode. A spread launcher. I have one that does a... Oh, did I change it? Well, I had one that did an orbital strike, but it looks like I just changed it. Congratulations! I have to do laundry this weekend. And I'm not looking forward to it. I am not looking forward to it. Guys, so far I have gotten two sets of emotes from this new emote artist to approve. So they're like almost done with the first 2 sets. They're gonna be done with the first 2 sets before I can even pay for the next set. Like, that's how fast this guy is working. Only 1 cup was yours, but your Diva cup, I know. I have a rep kit that gives you 200% amp damage? So like 9,000 times, that's wild. Broken. I'm gonna throw up! I'm gonna throw up from just being so excited. Melts, I bet. They'll patch that because someone on Reddit would be like, this gun is broken. And it made me kill a boss too fast. And it ruined my entire game. Did I do a good job? A vault fragment? A Vex nerf coming soon? Shut up. Of course there is. Why wouldn't they fucking nerf my character immediately? Bleeding is scaled on tick speed, so times 2 every 60 seconds. Okay. It ain't a PvP game, motherfuckers! Ooh, I'm at 3. Hold on, 3? 3 is back here? 3? No, not 3? Oh, now 3 is gone. Okay. Again, it ain't PvP. Okay, so now we're in 3. Is this 4? Or is this gonna go down? Overflow instant cash, amazing. Yeah, someone complained about it, I'm sure. And they were like, this is broken. Please nerf my single player game. Instead of just not doing the thing. Like, do you not want to get super powerful? I'm just so confused. Is the point of these games not to be, like, super powerful? You're fucking a Vault Hunter. I missed. You do it accidentally. I get it. I'm just pissed because, like, every character I play, like, always gets nerfed for something that, like, I haven't even, like, done yet. And then I'm always like, oh, cool. So now my character is all fucked. Before I've even had a chance to do anything with her. Bad design needs to be fixed. Don't fucking engineer at me. My game. Try to engineer at me like you think I engineer. What you think this is? Alright, so I was in 3. I'm still in 3, okay. 3, 3, 3. Now we're in 2, okay. So go back to 3, okay, okay. Wait, is it gonna be like the little place with all the orbs? Because sometimes they're not, right? I think I feel like I found one out in the open once. That was not like with all those like orbs, those like golden orb things. I'm still in 3. Nope, now we're in 2. Okay. Now we're in 3 again. Now we're in 2 again. Holy shit. Okay, that's very sensitive. Okay. Wait, how do I have poison? Now I'm back at 2 again. Okay. It's gotta go this way. How's what song go? What would I say? That girl was poison. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where the fuck is this? Oh, that girl is poison. Yeah. I thought you were making a "This Girl Is on Fire" reference, but yeah, no. This girl is poison. Yeah, it's an old hip-hop song, right? She's driving me out of my mind. Yeah. Poison. Okay, what do you want from me? What the fuck? Do I have to go all the way around to get on the other side of this fucking building? Nobody open it. It's a fucking Rickroll. Ooh, I got stuck. Okay. Whoa. I'm a creep. Hello? Thank you.
Some days I almost miss the coalition. How advanced it was, how functional, how many people were murderers. Hey, I said almost.
A Richard rule in the year of our Lord, 20th of the 25th. Wow.
Different than anyone aboard a coalition ship, that's for sure. But get this. Yesterday, I was running some tests and found a huge
The audacity.
part of the galaxy that, according to all maps, should be empty space.
Hello?
I'm talking planetary levels of iridium.
Hello?
The coalition would have jotted it down.
Oh,
as
okay.
an anomaly.
Just a little delayed. That's fine.
This crew, they trust me when I say it's worth our time.
What are you doing, Ellie? Lay down, silly girl. Come on. How did you know what that was? Because I'm not a fucking idiot, dude. I ain't. I ain't of no fool. Ain't my first Rick rodeo. Exactly. Oh, Dave, I fucking love your sense of humor, bro. Alright, so now we're in 3s again.
You're giving me goosebumps in a bad way.
Lissai. Well, you can't rickroll a rickroller, so, you know, get fucked. Get ricked. Get ricked in the dict. Okay, now we're back at 2.
Always feels good.
Get shit on! Your ass! Oh yeah, you also rickrolled yesterday! Yeah, you can't rickroll 2 times in 24 hours. You know, you pushed it. You pushed it too far. You pushed it. You pushed your joke too far. It's no longer funny. Push it real good. Those are my really good friends, Saltine and Pepper. Alright, do I go further? You fuck! This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I have been in the 3 stars for like what feels like 78 years. Push it. Push it. Push it real good. Oh yeah, there's a hole. I didn't go in the hole. I didn't go in the hole. Oh, the hole.
Now then, Kairos.
The hole.
Show me the vault.
Do I have all the keys now? But push it real good. Let's fight. Why? Apparently hit on for the first time in years. Some older lady in campus walked by and said, hey, if you ever come to campus in gray sweatpants, you better come fight. She wanted your pee-pee. Wolfie, she want your pee-pee. I wish I printed in gray sweatpants. What do you mean printed? Yeah, I'd be smooth. I don't get it. I don't get it. My prude little mind doesn't get it. I don't get it. I leveled up. Another win in Fortnite. Another win in Fortnite. Another win in Fortnite. Horseman, you are the Battle Royale champion. Where's? That's so far. There's gotta be a closer one. No, I know, but I don't understand what. I wish I printed in gray sweatpants. I don't understand. I know what gray. I know. Wait, I know gray sweatpants, but I don't get the printed part. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Is outline of PP printed? You want to print your PP? You have to print it on a piece of paper because it's so small. Oh, I got that before I fell. PP paper. Oh my god, they're here now! fuck is that? I don't understand. Vending machines are here now. Or don't get it.
Hard to be so patient and forgiving.
More like card. Cock. Lounge pants for lounging. For lounging. All right. Well, what's over here? Can I get here yet? Wait, why is it taking me some funky way? Why can't I go there? Oh, because this is higher. What this one? Holy shit. What, this one? Wait, what? How come that one wants to go that way? I'm confused. If I could create a Vault Hunter, what ability would you give it? Honestly, I wish I had a better idea, but like Maya's ability, which was also an ability that Amara could use, I loved being able to like just like grab enemies and like suspend them in the air. I loved that so much. But a realistic answer? I don't know. Maybe like a force push and pull kind of thing could be fun. Stop doing that. You won't knock your blanket out. Silly girl. Tula turn pink. Oh. Nikki with the counterpoint to the Rickroll. What did she say? I love the Rickroll. I love the Rickroll. Yeah. Nikki's like, yes, this is good. Ping pong with Amara's purple tree. I mean, pretty much all of them, like... I think all the siren powers were really fun. Even though Lilith's was a little bit less... Like, hers was more defensive rather than offensive. Like, she could just... No, I'm sorry. Hers was more... Yeah. No, hers was more... No. Yeah, hers was more defensive than offensive. Yes, that's... Okay, I said that backwards. I was like, wait a second. Why does that not sound right? Have you got, like... You know when you say a word a couple times and you're like, this word does not sound right? I said that and I was like, that doesn't sound right. And then my brain could not process what about it didn't sound right. I just knew that it didn't sound right. Alright, so where is this? Over here, maybe? Almost half of the way to +1 stream. Let's go. Can I not get in here? Is that what's going on? Oh, is this the one where I pushed like the speaker and it was like, no, not fam. No? Okay, guess not. Time freeze. You can shoot into zero, but all damage is considered one shot. Once you end the skill, all damage is dealt at once. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so I can't go in there yet. That's fine. It's 11:52. So, that being said, I'm not going to start any other quests. Oh yeah, I was trying to get that. That's right, that's right. I was trying to get that vault symbol. That'll be what I finish with, this vault symbol here. Because Pink said what it is. That's funny. Can I donate my pants to... Oh, points? Can I donate my pants to Wolfie? Reading is hard. Can I donate my points to Wolfie? I'm so embarrassed right now, guys. I am so embarrassed. Yeah, that's a clip. Yeah. Yeah, it do be like that. Oh, there's a red chest over there. Ow, my body!
That was my friend!
That was my friend! Oh my god, legendaries. Would it fucking kill you to give me a legendary? What? 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 Oh, that's a different one. I thought that was the one on the side of the building I tried to get. I have legendary farmed in the past. Like, we farmed, Kilowatt a lot so I could get his shield, the Transformer shield. Yeah, I legendary farm. But I mean, like, I assume it's different in this game. Like, you can replay bosses, but they must have loot drops like they always have. I don't know. I'm sure once I finish, the game will start grinding. Even though I want to get some better stuff before I finish, so I'm, like, kind of conflicted. Alright. This is where we're gonna call it. Where do I want to go back for my safe house? I guess I'll back here for safe house. Alright. So this is where we're gonna call it. Depending on... I might try to stream tomorrow, just because I kind of, like, missed a day on Monday, but I might not. I've been kind of enjoying just relaxing. Let me see if anyone's on. I have to pee. I might pee before we raid out. Are any of our pals on right now? Too soon, too soon? I know, a whole 4 hours, just like always, I know. Oh, here we go. We can raid Krista. Alright, guys. Let's go raid my name twin. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. I need to sleep. Yeah, let's all go to sleep. Cuddle puddle, let's all go to sleep. Are you rating yourself? Yes, I'm rating into myself to give myself extra viewers. All right, guys, have a good night. Stay safe, make good choices, all that jazz. And we'll see you maybe tomorrow. If not, then definitely on Friday. And Dirge and I are beating Abiotic Factor. We're doing it. We're doing it! Thanks for the distraction, of course.